Hey, what's up, guys? It is Matt. I'm just simply going to show you what I got from the library book sale I went to with my mother on Saturday morning. And funny enough, I only walked out of there. I spent $20, which, I mean, it goes to our local schools, so it's not that bad of a deal, but spent $20 and I actually walked out with only like 5 or 6 books. I actually, the main reason I went is because my mom told me they have usually a large selection of like VHSs they get from people who donate them, and I enjoy collecting them. And actually, funny enough, I could find some that were in pretty good condition. And then I also grabbed me some DVDs because can never go wrong with grabbing some good old DVDs. So let's get into this. First four that we're starting, well, a few of these that we're starting off with are just like some random grabs because they weren't expensive. I think they were only 25 cents a piece. I can't really honestly remember. But I just grabbed The Mask because it's a movie the first time I ever saw this was when it was on VHS. So I grabbed it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. I owned this one. I still own this, but I don't remember what my case looked like. And this one's got a little bit of funk on the one side, but the front of it's not bad. And then I grabbed these two Cheers VHSs because, oddly enough, when I was a child, I would wake up late at night because I still don't sleep well at night, but I didn't sleep well at night then either. So I would get up really late and I'd sneak upstairs and I'd go to the TV and I'd turn it on, and until my mom would end up hearing me and coming out and busting me. And funny enough, that Cheers was one of the shows that was usually on, and it was actually funny to watch as a young child. So I got into it, and so once I saw them, I was like, screw it, add them to the collection. The next three random ones I had was this Lord of the Rings, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and The Sound of Music. Now, these two have funny stories-ish to them, and this one was just a random one. I have other, I just remembered that I had other Lord of the Rings VHSs, but I couldn't remember what ones I had. And I have ones that have never been opened, and I have ones that have been opened, and I saw this one, there's two towers, and the case is in really shitty condition, and I just couldn't remember if that was the one I had or not, so I bought it. And then when I got home, I realized not only is it the same one that I actually have 3 copies of it now on VHS, so it's like, whatever. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, it's just a great movie, and I happened to see it, so I grabbed it. And The Sound of Music, the only reason that it has a funny story is because I was singing a song from this movie a couple weeks ago on a stream, and me and chat got into this big conversation about The Sound of Music, and I was like telling them I couldn't remember the last time I had seen The Sound of Music. It had probably been since I was in like elementary school, and ironically I walk in there and they have 2 of them, and this one was in best condition, so I grabbed it. 25 cents, can't go wrong there. But these ones are the 4 that I was the most happy with. First we have, okay, why are you so dark? Mission Impossible 2. It's which ironically it's a special edition, which means it's got special features. Oh my god, there's such a thing. But yeah, so the only reason I was happy I got this is because ironically I remembered that I just, before I got my license taken away, I had just gotten the first one of these on VHS, the Mission Impossible 1 on VHS, and so now I have the second one, which is cool. This one came out of nowhere, and it's a little newer than what I was hoping for, but the 20th anniversary edition of Planet of the Apes, the original, and it is in great condition. Like, this box is like, whoever had this never used it pretty much, which is awesome, because this is the way I like to find them. These next two are probably my favorite out of all of my VHSs that I got. This one, I went through all the movies first, and then I came back to them, and I found this VHS laying there that I completely just overlooked. But if you guys have never seen the original Blade Runner with Harrison Ford, back when he was like young as shit, look at this picture. Yeah, my man Harrison. But yeah, if you've never seen this movie, you should totally go watch it. It's a great classic movie, and I couldn't believe that I oversaw it or overlooked it. But yeah, so I grabbed it. And this last one is probably just my favorite because everybody at work plays country, so I'm always hearing Rolling Up and Truckin' or whatever it's called from the Smokey and the Bandit. And I found this one, and it's in pretty good condition too for being Smokey and the Bandit, so can never go wrong with Smokey. And that ends my VHS section. They had a very, very small section of games. Pretty much were games that were able to be played at the library, and then there was a very small section of games that got donated. I picked up Zoo Tycoon and Legoland. Both of them are for computers that are so outdated that the computer that's sitting in the background would like have a brain aneurysm trying to figure out how to run them. And then I got Killzone 2 for the PS3, which was pretty cool because I think I only paid like $2 for it or something. So it was like, well, that's not bad. It just adds another game to my tradable collection because I don't have a PlayStation, so there's no reason to keep it. So yeah, these were pretty cool to grab as well. Alright, I only got 6 DVDs, but we're going the same direction as we did with the VHSs, where I'm pretty much picking the order of why I like them the most out of what I got. But I got the Boondock Saints, Behind Enemy Lines, and Hollow Man. Boondock Saints only because I love this movie, but I don't own it. So it was like, well, that was lucky. Behind Enemy Lines. It's a great movie. I probably personally wouldn't have grabbed it right off the bat, but my mom said that, or she was the one that brought it to my attention, so I just threw it in my bag, and then to find out that she actually probably wanted it, so I might end up giving it to her. Anyways, not that I wouldn't enjoy having it, but it won't bother me if I don't have it. And I got Hollow Man because Kevin Bacon is funny as shit. This is not a funny movie, don't get me wrong, but it's just, I remember watching this movie actually as a kid with my mom, which is not really the greatest movie to let a child watch, because, spoiler alert, if you've never seen it, this dude becomes invisible and then, like, straight up rapes this woman because he's like, oh, guess what? She can't stop me because she doesn't know who I am. So it's kind of, like, fucked up, and I was a kid, and, like, okay, that's interesting, I guess. People act that way. It never had crossed my mind. And, yeah. But now, obviously, I'm an adult. I understand the movie. I understand the thrillerness behind it. And then last but not least, we got Hitman Unrated, Alien vs. Predator, and Master and Commander. And before I talk about these three real quick, I will quickly explain, just because it kind of has something to do with this one. The reason that I got into collecting movies, besides the fact that I've seen so many movies, it's unbelievable. And so when I started getting into it, the VHS just kind of came about because I figured if I got a badass VHS collection now, by the time I became an adult and I was like super fucking old, VHS actually might be kind of worth something. Plus it'd be kind of cool if I actually had the VHS player. I could sit my great grandkids down. Probably won't make it that long, but you know what I'm saying, my grandkids even at that. Sit them down, pop in a VHS player and be like, enjoy and just watch as their faces melt to how shitty terrible it looks. But be like, yeah, I grew up with this, so have fun. But so yeah, and then DVDs. My mom and dad actually bought me all the movies like I ever wanted. When Christmas and like birthdays came around, if I asked for a bunch of movies, they usually gave them to me because, like I said, I love movies. I watch movies all the time, and the issue was is I got them at such a young age that I didn't quite learn the whole respecting them because they're going to become bad over time. So I stopped putting them in the cases and I just stacked all the movies on top of each other, thinking like, oh, it's cool. I'll just go till I get to the movie I want and watch it. Obviously, after you do that for so many times, they become so scratched that you can't fucking ever watch them without them being the worst glitchiness, and you're skipping whole chunks of the movie just because it will skip through that whole chunk, and it got really bad. So that brings me to the Master and Commander. I think my mom actually bought this for my dad, and it was pretty much every movie my mom buys for my dad, I always end up getting, like borrowing and then never giving it back to him, and then it just pretty much becomes mine. And it was definitely a movie that got destroyed, and it hurt me because this movie is really long. It is very dramatic, I guess you would say, in a sense. But if you like history and war, this is a fucking movie. It's based on real shit, so it's very interesting. This movie I've never actually seen, to be honest. Actually, I've never seen Hitman either, but I got this one just because I haven't seen it, and I do know that the Alien vs. Predator franchise has quite a lot of movies, and even though I'm not a fan of them, and a lot of other people I know aren't a fan of them, it's still something that I would collect if I had it. And like I said, it was like $1 or something, so it was like, well, I'll grab it. And then the Hitman, actually, when I go into anything, movies, games, or books, anything that I'm going to buy something, my first thought is always, I need to go for something that is video game related. And when it all comes down to it, I only got one book that was video game related, and then I found Hitman unrated, which, I mean, if you guys don't quite, realize, it says right there in the very beginning, the best-selling video game Hitman. So, I mean, these movies pretty much came from the work of the video games, and the video games are extremely high rated, and like I said, I've never seen it, so it was like, screw it, I'll throw the $1 in, buy it, watch it, see if it's actually good. I know that there's another one that has come out since then, but regardless, it was worth it. So, hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, a like would be much appreciated, and if you're new to my channel, you should subscribe. Normally there isn't cool library book sale signs that took me super long to not do. I mean, I did do it, but it didn't really take that long at all to do, obviously. And yeah, so, and actually, if you are already subscribed, you should share this cool, awesome library book sale video and show your support so I can go to more farmers markets and shit with my mom and turn that into a thing to show you guys what we got. Because I'd like to do that, because I could spend more time with my mom, because I don't really spend a lot of time with her. It makes me sad. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.